I've been warning people for months now that after the selection date, November 5th, all bets are off across the board. I'm not just talking about this stinking stock market. Everything. I believe we are moving towards a whole new dynamic, a whole new paradigm, a whole new set of rules. There are some people that still believe in a dead system. This is not a republic. This is not a democracy. This has been taken over right now. Central banks run the entire show. It's not presidents, kings, queens, dictators, monarchs. The entire world has been taken over by central banks. That's it. They're the government. They make the rules. He or she who controls the cash controls the world. Man, we've been told this forever here. It's very unfortunate to witness what's going on here. What we have here is an absolutely controlled society. Their minds have been taken over by the propaganda ministry. Look here. Don't look here. Deceptions, lies across the board. It just doesn't stop. People don't know what to think anymore. But why is it there was not a single question during the presidential clown show debate, nor the vice presidential selection debate, whatever, about monetary policy, what the Fed is doing, why both puppets here are promising lower rates, which obviously means a weaker currency, and people are cheering for it. And then again, it's the blame game. Well, it's Trump's fault why they have inflation. Well, it's Biden's fault. It's neither of them's fault. Neither one of them has a printing press. Neither one of these people have the ability to devalue the currency. It's the central bank. It's monetary policy. But people have been led to believe that's true. It's astonishing to me how both the Republican Party, Democratic Party have to portray the Federal Reserve as being on the side of angels because they're the ruling body. They're the ones that are being protected here by the deceptions, the distractions, by no finger pointing here. And we, the people of not just the United States, of the world, are being systematically wiped. This is a war. These central banks have their bases in every continent around this planet here, and they're winning, and we are losing. And unfortunately, it's not going to change. It's going to get dramatically worse. What they've done here is it's just too sick and twisted. The mechanism of enriching the 1% and 2% is at the cost of everyone else around this world is in full play. People are in a state of learned helplessness now. The mechanism here of artificially suppressed rates, the mechanism of currency devaluation on the back of that has assured our own destruction. And people are, again, why are they not taught this stuff in school? It just really comes down to the fact that we are being pushed into that direction, and people have no idea why. With regard to finance and economics, and I've been trying to explain this to people, just as an example, right now as we are doing this, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up over 500 points. Meanwhile, the economic news from this morning was last month we added only 12,000 jobs, an abysmal jobs report. We just found out that factory activity and manufacturing just fell deeper into contraction, and the stock market is taking off. Why? Again, it's the mechanism. The two factors that are destroying the economy are propelling world stock markets higher. That is, again, what we're being promised by Kamala and by Trump, promising lower rates, currency devaluation here. This mechanism, these are economic destroyers, but they boost the stock market. People still seem to believe there's a connection here between the stock market and the economy. And I've been telling people for I don't know how many years now, probably for almost 10, that the worse off that the economy goes, the higher the stock market's going to go because of these same mechanisms. People are committing suicide here because they don't understand what's happening to them. Like you said, the confusion, the division, there's a demolition that is going on here. What I find extremely disturbing, how does this system work? Any person running for the highest office in the nation, okay, what do? Where's the first place they go to? Behind closed doors, secret meetings on Wall Street with the CEOs of corporations, the banks, the central bankers. There's no minutes. There's no photographs. We, the people, are not allowed to know what takes place during these meetings. Then all of a sudden, they come out and they try to, say, I'm the person that's going to... Look, in my opinion, what happens in those meetings, they're vetted, obviously. Who's going to be the one that's going to, again, bring about what we're seeing here? And it's unfolding very, very rapidly. And then sell the people on fear, because people don't know what's going on, as you just alluded to. And a lot of people are throwing up their hands, surrendering, and then hoping this puppet or that puppet is going to be the one that's going to lead them to some utopian society here. Faith is obviously in the wrong place here. We have these demigods now. It all comes down to understanding how and why cash moves through the markets. And I'm not just talking about the stock markets. I'm talking about the debt market itself, currency markets, commodities, gold, silver. When you have a mechanism of where central banks collectively keep rates artificially suppressed, and obviously that devalues the currency. This opens up a doorway for cash to make its way into risk assets here. And what this does is create what's called a multiples expansion cycle, meaning investors will pay virtually anything to own shares of stock, and this obviously inflates massive stock market bubble and creates distortions across the spectrum of asset classes. Cash coming out of things it should be going into and vice versa. What's eventually going to happen here, and this is again no accident, it's absolutely deliberate, this debt hyper bubble, when it bursts, is going to cause a multiples contraction cycle. So everyone's going to run to the door at the same time. Stock markets around the world are going to crater faster than anyone can possibly imagine. Now, the mechanism here of artificially suppressed rates has been working for many, many years. I've been telling people for years, buy the dips, riding this market. I'm an open book. Everyone knows what I'm buying, why I'm buying it, what I'm looking to do with regard to the stock market, taking advantage of it. As you know, this multiples expansion cycle continues to go on. The faster the economy comes down, the higher the market's going to go until it doesn't. The debt market is the linchpin. We're going to get a massive sell-off here at one point here, and this is also deliberate. The central bank's buying it all and keeping rates suppressed here, creating this multiples expansion cycle again, and the debt bubble is going to burst. With such ferocity, people aren't going to know what happened. And then, of course, we're going to get the multiples contraction cycle. People's investment plans are going to go up in smoke. But it goes way beyond that. It's not just a matter of the markets crashing. Forget about market crashes. I feel we're going to end up, and we're already in, a full-blown liquidity crisis. And the fact of the matter is that we can prove that by looking at the global economy contracting here in the United States and around the world at its fastest pace on record, and central banks continuing to inflate at the same time. The system must be fueled, and that should worry people, because without more fuel, this whole thing will implode, and it will implode overnight. So understanding the mechanism here, look, when you have this multiples expansion cycle in the stock market, again, even the market's right here at record highs again as the economy free falls. But that means that other assets are on sale. And based on, looking at global debt, it's commodities. We're going to end up in what I believe is going to be a super cycle beyond super cycles. I can't even come up with a name of commodities again, because again, these are real things. The debt market sell-off is going to destroy, and I cannot underscore that word enough, destroy world stock markets as the multiple contraction cycle begins. Cash is just going to move. It doesn't grow money wings and fly away to money heaven. It's going to go into commodities in a massive way. Other suppressed assets, I also believe it's going to make its way into cryptocurrency as well. Only because of its market cap. It's so under-owned. Crypto is in for everybody. I get it. It's a very volatile asset class, but commodities are a no-brainer, man. You got to be in this stuff. My favorite asset has been, as you well know, and everyone who follows my work, is silver. I look at the Dow gold ratio, the gold silver ratio. Now we got to figure out where the bottom is on the Dow. Where is the bottom? We don't know where the bottom is. And my best guess is the bottom for the Dow is 8,000 in our current environment. And I would believe we're going to get a 1-to-1 ratio with gold. So 8,000 gold could be even a 10-to-1 with silver in a full-on, panic, or more likely 15-to-1. That's where this is going here. But that's not even the real issue. The real issue that we're going to face is what we were facing in 2008. Was a locking up of the credit markets. This is why Bernanke was rushed in before a loving, caring representative said, hey, we have to pump billions into the system right now, or by Monday, we're not going to have an economy. That's a quote. That's what he said. It wasn't about the market crash. So that's what we're being pushed into. I want people to focus on this. There will be an event. I've never seen before where people can ever in my life will say, okay, this is it, and that's when it's going to happen. We've heard a lot of stories like that. It's never right. To me, it's going to be some outlying event, and it's going to be dramatic, very, so they can say, okay, look, this is why the system is coming apart. It's not because of the fault of central banks or anywhere else here. That's what they have in store for us here. Again, we are being destroyed. We're being wiped out. It's an extermination event for the middle class around the world. And they're going to finish the job, bringing us back to a neo-feudal system, which I've been warning about for 10 years, and I'm sure you have been too. This is where we're going. What's happening is people have become trapped by fear because they don't know any better, aren't holding anyone to account. And that has led us to be a controlled society, unfortunately. And this probably is the final stage before the end. And I think we're very close to this. Again, I just draw a line here. So I just look at data and I put together like a dot plot. I have my own little dot plot like the Fed has. And I just kind of draw a line through the dots and see where it leads to. And I'd say that moving, look, after the selection here, man, all bets are off. And what comes out after that, we'll see. But 2025 really does not look good to me in any way, shape, or form. If people are expecting anything here to change for the better, they've been lied to, unfortunately.